tourism sector is one of the biggest contributors to the country's economy. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has seriously impacted the sector. But with restrictions being lifted, local and international travellers can help rebuild the industry by visiting some of the country's best sites. The Eastern Cape is a great place to take a short left. Reporter Aviwe Mtila is in Papiesfontein Beach. He's horse riding there. You can see on our video wall, Aviwe in the middle there. Monique Mortlock to his left. She is in Wellington, and it looks like she's doing a bit of wine tasting. Lethiwe Mdluli is joining us from Florida Road, one of the top restaurant strips in Durban from KZN. Aviwe, let's start off with you, because you're clearly on horseback at the moment, and I'm terrified that horse is going to bolt in a different direction. Aviwe, what have you seen in your outing today as we focus on tourism and look at how we can rebuild that sector?
Well, Annalie, Misty here is getting a bit restless. We've been sort of waiting here for a while, but it's been an experience. I've been taking off really my bucket list and the things to do around the Eastern Cape. Earlier on, I was skydiving, 11,000 feet, came down in Jeffreys Bay. Still in Jeffreys Bay now for a horse riding by the beach, Papiesfontein. We are, of course, in the middle of tourism month. It's going to be a bit difficult to see how Misty is getting restless here. But I want to bring in Cassandra Oshoff, who is the manager here. Thank you for joining us at eNCA. But let's start off with the trail that we're about to embark on. Maybe give us details around what to expect.
All right, so the trail is 13 kilometers long. It takes 2 to 2.5 hours to complete the full trail. The first half will be the bushes, where we walk and we trot with the horses. We take it nice and easy, relaxed. We enjoy ourselves. That's where we take pictures, get used to the seat and the horses. And then the second half will be the 7 kilometers of beach, where we can walk, trot, canter, run, and just feel the freedom of the wind in your hair.
All right, looking forward to that already. But let's talk about COVID-19 then and the impact it's had not only on the tourism industry, but your business specifically.
So COVID, it's been a rough year. We've been very quiet compared to the previous years. But we had the chance to do the farm work and rest the horses and exercise some new young horses that we are getting in. So let's say for the horses, it was very good. For the business, not that much. But we all need a rest, and we will recover, and it will get better, I am sure. And we are looking forward for our season during December and January, where we will have 3 rides a day. 6:30 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning, and our famous one, the sunset ride, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we are looking forward to the season that is ahead.
In fact, you can tell that Misty's been resting for a while, yeah? She wants to get on already. But I want to get an idea then on your type of tourists that you have to cater for now. I'm sure you have to accommodate more local tourists now rather than the international tourists.
Yes, so let's say the recent times we had more locals, and it was so much fun seeing our locals, experiencing the activities we had to offer in the Eastern Cape. But usually we do mostly cater for the international tourists, and we haven't seen a lot of them lately, as you know, with the tourism being very quiet for South Africa and the Eastern Cape. But yeah, I'm so happy for the locals that they could enjoy our activity and the other activities the Eastern Cape had to offer, and it was very lovely seeing some familiar faces.
Okay, thank you very much, Cassandra. I doubt we have to keep Misty any longer. I'll have to get on the trail now. But that's the Eastern Cape and the tourism around here.
Very much, Aviwe. Enjoy your ride. Go easy on Misty. Let me cross now to Lethiwe. Lethiwe, I grew up partially in Durban. I know Florida Road quite well. It looks quite busy in the background of your shot. We can see lots of people making full use of the sunny summer weather to get out and enjoy the offerings. What have you seen in terms of perhaps people from other parts of the country enjoying Durban now that some of those restrictions have been lifted?
Well, the weather is totally agreeing with some of the tourists that have made their way to Durban this afternoon. As you can see right behind me, there's a lot of activity here on Florida Road. This is, of course, one of the busiest streets in the city. If people want to come and have a great time and enjoy the nighttime or the nighttime, they come here on Florida Road. There's a lot of restaurants that the road has to offer. I have been speaking to a lot of business owners that are situated here, and they've been telling me how affected they were by the pandemic and also the recent civil unrest. I'm just going to ask my colleague to move with me. I want to speak to a local restaurant owner. This restaurant, Authentic Restaurant, actually recently opened. They opened their doors in August, just after the civil unrest. And we have been told that they are currently open for business, and they're expecting for business to pick up as the tourism month kicks off. I'm now joined by this gentleman right here. His name is Ndumiso Mncwabe. He is the co-owner of Authentic Restaurant. Mr. Mncwabe, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
So my first question for you is that you opened your establishment during the hard lockdown and also during the civil unrest. How has business been so far?
I think a lot of people will call us crazy for opening during a pandemic and all the unrest, but there's a method to the madness, and we're passionate about what we're doing. And opening at this time, I think, is very interesting for us, but it's also shown us ukuthi ikhona indawo for what we're opening here and what we've opened as obviously the Authentic. It's a restaurant, and we've got a bar next door. We've been very blessed by just the reception eyabantu and loving what Ntokozo and I have obviously curated here. And every day we're just amazed at the response and the people consistently walking in and out of this place with some good, great reviews, and sometimes, lezo zinto lezo where you need to improve, and we accept that, and we're just truly, truly thankful to the community as eThekwini.
So what do you actually have to offer? Please show us around, and what do you have to offer for the people of Durban?
Look, Authentic is a African-inspired restaurant. In being inspired by Africa, our cuisine is taken from around the continent, and we've put it on a plate. Instead of people always coming to Africa and saying, we want to experience African cuisine, we want to experience Africa on a plate. That's what we're doing here. I think into Australia, we bona is that a lot of people kind of are taken to a Shisanyama, and that's Africa for them. We've taken Ghanaian-inspired dishes, Tanzanian-inspired dishes, Moroccan-inspired dishes, and put them in a formal setting where people could literally just enjoy Africa, but in a formal dining space, and that's that. Thank you.
So that's one of the co-owners for Authentic Restaurant. He is also saying that they have a bar area where they do offer something different from the restaurants. He's saying that they are expecting for business to pick up, especially because we are heading to the long weekend, and it is Heritage Month, so there's a lot of people who will be making their way to Durban over the long weekend.
Thank you very much, Lethiwe. And after that long weekend, the next stretch is probably the December holidays. Durban is one of the favourite spots in the country for South Africans to enjoy their long year-end break. So hopefully that will give the boost to that part of the sector as well. Saving the best for last, let's go to the Western Cape. It is a popular tourist attraction for locals and tourists alike, but the industry was crippled during the hard lockdown. It is still battling to recover. Joining me now for more is reporter Monique Mortlock, who is in Wellington for some food tasting. And Monique, I can tell there it's not just food tasting. I'm sure there's a bit of wine tasting as well. And that's something that traditionally has been a favourite for international tourists. Have locals been able to give enough support to the sector to keep them going through this very difficult period?
Yes, definitely, Annie. And on that food tasting, that's long time finished. Right now, we are on the wine. As you can see, I'm surrounded by award-winning wine from Papiesfontein and from the Thokozani wine brand, which is a black empowerment program. It started off as a community upliftment program, and Thokozani has grown into an internationally known brand, and that's what I'm surrounded by. I'm here on Papiesfontein farm, and a little earlier I spoke to Thokozani Wines' managing director Denise Stubbs and asked her that exact question about how the wine industry, how Thokozani and Papiesfontein specifically have had to cater to the local tourists, have tried to attract them, especially because we know international tourists are still only trickling into South Africa and making their way to establishments like this one on the Cape Winelands. She spoke to us about this special wine, the Spumante, which they released to attract more of the younger crowd as a fresh, light summer drink, and she had this to say about that endeavor.
We came up with this phenomenal Ovation Spumante, which is a Purlone, and it is Sauvignon Blanc, less alcohol, a little bit sweeter, less bubbles than the MCC, and we thought, why not do the special cocktail? And this has just drawn so many young upcoming drinkers, Monique, which we call the Sundowner, and this must give you that beautiful, I mean, what more can you say?
I love that it's in a big glass.
In a big glass. So yeah, we can surely enjoy this. All the fresh fruit that goes with it, and having the Sauvignon Blanc and having that less alcohol, I promise you, when people taste, especially the young upcoming drinkers, we call it this now.
Sure.
The cocktail.
It's like a fruit salad drink.
A total fruit burst in your mouth. Absolutely. And it needs to be cold, chill, and everybody will just love it. So the colors is showing you what it's all about. It's young, it's vibrant, it's upcoming, and you will enjoy it definitely.
Monique, it's so good to see businesses innovating to keep afloat, but obviously also the wine industry, the alcohol industry at large has been hit with a double whammy. Not only have they lost out in terms of tourists, they've also been kept in a relatively tight box with restrictions on alcohol sales. How are businesses keeping afloat in the midst of an ongoing pandemic?
Yes, definitely. The alcohol bans, the impact on or the restrictions on travel from international visitors, all of this have just compounded the effects that the pandemic has had on the wine industry. And here on Papiesfontein specifically, they've had to think out of the box, especially to draw in that local crowd. And I asked about prices, about things like the perception that wine tasting or wine farms like this one is maybe only for a certain crowd that may be able to afford it. And Denise Stubbs then spoke about what they've been doing, finding ways, whether it be discounts for locals, competitions that they've been running. Let's take a listen to her explaining how they've been trying to attract the local tourists, especially those living in the Wellington, in the Cape Winelands area.
I think, once again, like I said to you, the whole perception of wine tasting, it costs a lot of money. It's for the upper class people and all of that. So we're just trying to put much more vibrant tastings up for the people that wants to explore. So the local community we draw in, we have special specials, and we have special tastings going on, and then competitions that we run at the moment, because we've got a guest house. We would like people to come and experience. So if you come and experience, you fill in a competition, and then you can come stay over at our 4-star guest house.